Yo, everybody. We made it back to another episode of Wrestle Plunge. Here on a Sunday night. Currently, we're going through CWA Memphis 1989. The entire year is on Internet Archive, and like I said last week, it seems like WWE doesn't copyright these shows, so we're going to try to make our way through it. Had a good episode last week, and it seemed like a lot of people came and tuned in, maybe even after the fact, and had a few people come through live, which was cool. But yeah, tonight we're going to be going through episode January 21st, 1989, and January 28th, 1989. We're going to try to do another 2 episodes. So welcome in, everybody. Thank you very much. Appreciate some fine folks that come in if you do, either on Twitch or YouTube. And yeah, let's rock and roll here. Let's jump straight into the action. Let me get this off the screen. That's for another thing. Boom. Let's go. Let me get the sound here. There we go.
Heavyweight title holder Wendell Cooley out. Okay, Davey.
Just real quick, as remembering last week, we're kind of on the verge, if I'm remembering correctly, a Ricky Morton heel turn and a singles run this year in '89 in Memphis. Not going to have Robert Gibson with him, and currently there's a Jerry Lawler and Dutch Mantel feud brewing, and Jerry Lawler is the champion here.
It's a 1 10-minute match here. Keith Eric on the other side of the ring at 2:24.
Lisa, welcome in here on the Twitch machine. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Cooley out of San Antonio, Texas, wearing the CWA
through here tonight.
belt.
No matter where you're watching from.
We've seen him do that before. He's paying for it right now, though, as Wendell Cooley nailed him with that upper arm, backs him into the turnbuckle, fires him across the way.
Start right out the gate with some action.
Out of the corner, he's dumped over the back by the Wildcat.
Crack you a brew open here with us here tonight.
I'll tell you one thing about Cooley. You look at
drink
him
a little bit here on a
he's
Sunday
not
evening.
A great, big, awesome kind of a guy, but boy,
classic wrestling,
he
baby.
gets the job done. I mean, stays right in there, taking care of business.
Cooley coming in hot. Cooley, the CWA champion. So Cooley's the CWA champion, this gentleman right here. And then you got Jerry Lawler, who's the world champion, and they unified 2 titles last week. I believe it was the AWA and WCCW titles, if I'm not mistaken, the ones that Jerry Lawler held coming into '89 here.
Impressive win.
So it kind of feels like a fresh start even coming into
Well, it lasted 52 seconds,
this time
and
period
that's
of
it.
Memphis.
Wildcat Wendell Cooley with a quick and a good victory here over an always tough Keith Eric. Yes, it was. Very impressive victory.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep rolling through 1989.
That strategy backfired on Keith Eric. He jumped him real quick, and it backfired on him just a little bit. Coming out right now, the superstar, Bill Dundee.
Hey, David, Brad, how you doing? Well, sir, I know everybody's saying, well, who's his mystery partner? Why is it taking place?
Dundee
well, I'll
out
tell you
here.
why it's taking place, Garvin. When you watch what's going to happen to you today, brother, you're going to wish you never heard the name of Bill Dundee, and you're going to wish you never heard the name of who's going to be out here as my partner. Now, we got a little tape that happened a couple of days ago, and I don't know whether I'm angry, frustrated, just mad at myself, mad at you, or mad at the whole world. But if you'll play the little, press the button up there, they'll show you the tape, and you'll see what I'm talking about, Garvin. We had him beat. Tracy Smothers beating up that goof in the corner. Drop kick right here. What? Boom. Down he goes. Right.
What's up, Dylan? Welcome in here.
Referee comes on over.
Yeah, that classic green curtain. Actually, let me do this right here, too. This will help out. Let me get the chat over here so I can actually pop some of those up on the screen as we go, at least on the YouTube side, real quick. Because Dylan, I wanted to pop that up and make a statement, make a comment. Yeah, classic green curtain. That classic green curtain makes it feel so much older to me. It makes it feel like more of an late 70s, early 80s vibe. But I dig it, though. Jake, welcome in, brother. Thanks for coming in here, man. Dude, the mullets are, woo, full display at this period in '89.
2. I thought he said 3. Now I get up. Now watch what happens. I didn't know the idiot had his foot. I go give him credit. He's a little smart. Now watch this. That ain't no choke, brother. That ain't no choke. That was a lip lock, Garvin. Now watch. Don't know what I'm frustrated, brother. I try to wipe it off. I don't know where that boy's been. Well, I'm just going to tell you something, Garvin. There's an old saying, you got to fight fire with fire. Well, I'm going to fight you with something, brother, and you're going to find out today. Now look at this. Look. I believe you enjoy it.
Yo, Lakota coming in here. Appreciate it.
On Bill Dundee
Welcome in, guys. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday night.
Use a kiss like that.
Well, I don't mind getting beat. I've told you before, if you beat me, I'll be the first guy up to shake your hand and tell you it was great. But, Garvin, you just watch what's going to happen to you today, boy.
Okay, he's got a mystery partner. Billy didn't want to give us much idea about who it's going to be. We'll just have to wait. They are right now preparing for the match with the Beauty and the Beast as they'll be coming out here just as soon as they get that pink mat down there,
sweet,
David.
Lisa.
Yeah, they got to get that pink mat put down. Beauty and the Beast refused to
keep me
wrestle
updated
on the common mat that we have here. It has to be that special one.
Are you taking them directly from Internet Archive also?
Took Dundee by surprise looking at that footage in that match that it took place in there. And like I said, a lot of people are trying a lot of things.
Jay, this is some pretty fun wrestling to watch if you never watched any Memphis from this era.
He got him off guard, rolled him up, and got the
pretty
1, 2,
wild.
3 on him, and I know
The storylines are fun to interact
Billy,
with.
man.
Know it. And like I said, I bet Mr. Garvin has
I like the old school vibe.
into that. Here they come, Beauty and the Beast, Terrence Garvin and Mark Guleen. Guileen's got the spray can with him. He'll go up and disinfect everything. Now, there you go.
You find out, I am sure. He's asking who the mystery partner is, and he'll be finding out
cool.
that a little
Lisa,
bit
I'll check that
later.
out
We've got
after
that
this.
match
Actually, hold on.
scheduled in
I
here
think
with
I got it.
Dundee and the
Yeah,
mystery
I got you.
partner. Guleen.
Oh, shit.
With that spray can up there disinfecting or perfuming or whatever he's doing. And across
What episode I'm on right now? I'm on 121 right now. Oh shit, I'm on 121 right now. So hold on. Yeah, let me look at this in real time. Actually. Okay.
Lawler's foot on it by your
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I do like that. Original restored. So upload it to YouTube on 121, 128. Just finished normal processing, but it's the HDR, and I'm not sure if the HDR processing will be finished. Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. I'm jumping the gun. My bad. Hold on. I should have read that message first.
the way our opponents are in, and we're ready for it, Dave.
And we are ready to go with a one fall 10-minute time limit match. Introducing.
Oh, you sent this earlier. Okay, hold on.
On one side of the ring. On the other, it's Beauty and the Beast, Mark Guleen and Terrence Garvin. Guleen starting out here, the Beast.
Like the thumbnail looks better, but actually watching it, I think I like at least personally, I think I like the Internet Archive version better. Like this one looks a little bit like that haze on there. I'm not really digging that.
While Jimmy Jarrett in.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this version for now.
Beauty and the Beast on a nice
But I appreciate that, though. That's fucking sweet as hell, though.
I
think it comes down to just a preference thing for me, though, on it.
Not usual
fucking
for
cool.
Guleen. He's usually very strong at the beginning.
You know, I think we're seeing an example of Alan Reynolds, and a wrestler who's been wrestling for several
damn
months
right.
now and has learned a lot along the way.
Pike Toyota ready to spin some ducats out here, son. Damn.
Hasn't won a lot of matches.
Now, I can only imagine. I wish I knew the real number of folks that would have been watching this, you know, over however many counties or even states between Kentucky, Tennessee, and this is a regional type of situation here with Memphis. But man, I wish I knew how many eyes were actually seeing this and getting these advertisements. Pike might have been smart on that.
Certainly learned some things, and I think we saw evidence of that right there in the beginning of this match. Whoa, big power slam by Guleen on Chris Frazier.
Sweet, Lisa. Yeah, just keep me updated. I'll keep looking at that.
We've never said that they
I should have read that
could,
before
it
I
doesn't
even
come
popped
as a
that
major
up there. I was
surprise
just like,
when you
let's
see
go.
Guleen pull off a power move like that. There's the tag on the
Also,
Beauty, Terrence.
real quick, live on Twitch and YouTube. So I'm talking to Lisa there on Twitch, and my Botrix isn't working, so no one can see the chat. Botrix is having some issues. Oh, there it comes. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix
Garvin.
it. Nope, still
he
down.
normally comes in when
Now, here we
the
go.
opponent has
That's
been
back.
hurt. That's
There we
when
go.
he wants
See
to
if I can
get
get some
in.
chat in
That
here.
goofy dance and laugh of his is the thing that'll just drive you right up a wall. There's a tag back to Guleen and Chris Frazier, who is in the middle of lots of trouble in there, and Guleen really pounding away with that forearm and goes with another power slam.
He power slams him there again. He goes to the corner, makes the tag on Terrence Garvin. Guleen with Frazier, drops him over the knee, backbreaker, and Garvin comes flying off the ropes. That stupid laugh again in a cover. Count of 1, 2, this one's over. The win going to go to Beauty and the Beast, Terrence Garvin, Mark Guleen. 1:33 the time.
1:33, the final decision. Beauty and the Beast.
There we go. Got some chat, baby. Let's go. We got Twitch chat and YouTube chat. We're rocking. That's Lisa Chase Wolf on the Twitch side.
You'll find out about it later on. Well, just wait. You'll find out. Don't worry.
I want to know now, Lance.
No, well, you don't get to know now. We're going to take time out here, David, and we'll be back in just a moment.
And Wednesday night down at the Evansville Coliseum, he'll be climbing in the ring. I'm not going to tell you right now who it is against Beauty and the Beast. And then you're going to be having Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden tangling in there against Jeff Jarrett and Sid Vicious. Yeah, you heard what I said. You just stay tuned right where we are.
What's up, Shirley? Thanks for popping in here.
By golly, couldn't come at a better time. Wildcat Wendell Cooley, Jerry the King Lawler will be going in there against Dutch Mantel, and referee Rick Morton is his partner. What a
Ricky
tag
Morton. I
match
wonder if this
that's
is
gonna
when the
be,
heel
because
turn happens.
You know that Cooley doesn't have any love for Mantel after slapping
God,
him
I'm
upside
pumped for
the
that,
face,
dude.
And I think
Pumped
you
for
pretty
that,
well know where
Ricky
Jerry
heel
the King
turn.
Lawler stands about Ricky Morton. Let's take a listen right now.
I think Ricky's a
from
good
Morton
Brobo.
and Mantel.
I feel like I ought to be a deep.
Also, real quick, rest in peace, Sap fucking Boo. Sabu, one of my absolute favorites of all time. He lived an insane life. Incredible life. Dead at 60. R.I.P., brother.
Talks today because I've been out partying, because when they told me that Jerry Lawler and that bogus Wendell Cooley wanted to climb in the ring with me and Ricky Morton, hey, it made my day. I was in the backyard sticking a fork, and my dog, when I got the news, the dog jumped in there. He was happy. My old lady was happy, and certainly I was happy too, because Lawler, you ain't got
You can see Ricky
friends.
grow that
Your
beard,
future's
dude.
on hold, and I don't know what else is wrong with you, but a lot of more things are going to be wrong with you because you're stupid enough.
So, okay, this is the next week after last. I haven't seen Ricky turn heel yet, but feels like he's already heel. He's hanging out with Dutch, who's for sure a heel, going to the face Jerry Lawler. So has this happened on like a live show, and we're just now kind of catching up here?
Bogus Wendell Cooley to step in the ring.
It seems like it's already
with
kind of
me
flipped
and
here.
Ricky Morton. And when you do, it's going to be a bad, bad mistake. Would you agree with me?
Dutch, I'll tell you something. When Dutch Mantel and Ricky Morton gets together, all we do is create stormy weather. Lawler, you and Coolidge can come around here and say anything you want to, but you was beat by Dutch Mantel.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. If you want to crowd somebody's shoulders, brother, go find
Okay.
somebody else.
Yeah, this has happened at the
Dutch
show.
Mantel and Rick Morton are forever.
Big full card coming up Wednesday night.
So we're already into the
Why don't
Ricky
you be
Morton
there?
heel factor.
Created as much conversation as anything that has in a long, long time, and with good reason, too. When the word was out on Wednesday morning that Jerry Lawler had lost the unification heavyweight title to Dutch
Got that beard
Mantel,
rocking.
well, I
Looking
gotta
good,
tell you,
too.
There was a lot happened in there. If you weren't down there, we've got some footage of it that we want you to take a look toward the end of the match. Remember, Rick Morton was the one who was the referee in there. That's Morton closest to the camera across the way in the blue tights.
Oh, here we go.
Morton had been knocked down in a collision with Jerry Lawler, and he was just now getting up. He really hadn't gotten himself back together. Lawler is motioning.
I like that he's
him,
reffing in
"Come on
full
over there and
gear."
count." Lawler is motioning to him, come on over there and count of
So
1,
here's where it happens.
2, and he
Oh, shit, dude.
instead of counting to 3, which obviously would have given the
Yeah, this is going to be fun to watch.
given the match to Jerry Lawler in there, and Lawler saying, come on, Ricky, get back into it. And he starts the count of 1 again with 1.
Getting the kick out.
He finally gets his second count down, and by that time, Mantel kicked out of the cover that Lawler had on him. And Ricky now comes in as Lawler comes in to nail Dutch in the corner. Morton, again, who had been very effective up to that point, was pulling Lawler back out of the corner when Mantel rushed out of there and planted a foot right in the midsection, slapped a pile driver on Lawler, which, of course, is not legal. Lawler put a foot up, and you see Morton push his foot. Watch this. Pushes his foot back down the second time. There's the third time, and this time Morton counted 1, 2, 3 with Lawler's foot on the rope in clear view of the camera and of the referee. Comes down and gets the belt. And the new unification champion with the belt awarded to him is Dutch Mantel. Now, it's a question of the referee's duties in there. It is not his job to say, well, you should have kicked out, because foot under or over the rope, any part of the body, is a legitimate way of breaking a hold. And the referee, after pushing it down twice, just continued to count right through it the third time. And he ended up with a situation where
Dutch Mantel
with Lawler's foot in clear view. Now, we know that the referee has
got the right man on the job.
Situation where a foot has been on the rope. That's entirely different than the foot being on the rope, the referee having pushed it down twice and clear view. Lawler, going back to the back, hollered at operating the camera to come with him. He wanted to get the comments on tape if he could, and let's take a listen right now and see what happened.
This is cool. Getting to see the insides here. Is this the Memphis Coliseum here? The Mid-South Coliseum? Yo, Holly, what's up? We doing a little wrestling tonight? Skronk, what's up? That's a cool name. Chapelson. Holly Berry, welcome in, folks. Appreciate y'all hanging out. And we're watching, every Sunday I'm trying to watch 2 episodes of CWA Memphis from '89. Did that last week, so right now we're up to January 21st and 28th before we go into February. So should be able to knock this year out pretty quickly. And it's one that doesn't seem to get really tackled with copyright stuff. The only thing I need to really remember and think about is maybe some entrance music that might play. And then in the AWA footage that might randomly pop on. I think they get nicked for that.
Hey, come here, Judge. What are you doing, Ricky? What, dude? What are you doing out there? Hey, how can you catch?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming in here. Yeah, stick around. Hopefully we'll, like I said, keep this up weekly here. Dutch is hairy as hell. Look at this locker room, though. Look at that blue chair back there. Right?
You all right, Jarrett?
Got the police in here.
Get them the hell way away from here. Get them out of here. Get them out of the building. All right.
Pammy, what's up? Welcome in here. Watching a little wrestling here tonight. Memphis, 1989.
Okay, that's what happened. That was before we ever got back to the dressing room. All of that had taken place, and I heard about it. So you can see exactly what happened back there.
Here's Dutch. Got the belt.
Right now is Dutch Mantel carrying
Yeah, you weren't
the...
going to invite me out here, were you?
Oh, I wanted you out here,
World
Dutch.
heavyweight champion
Oh,
out here,
yeah,
were you?
listen, you're carrying that around. Now, you know doggone well it is under review right now, and that's about as
Oh, yeah, it's
secure
not
as-
official that he is the
Against
champion.
all odds.
Lawler couldn't even let that happen, right? He's like, oh, no.
Against all odds, I come into Lawler's backyard, and I took the most precious thing away from him. I didn't take it away in Los Angeles or Denver or Dallas, Texas. There, and Louisville, everywhere.
Uh-huh, yeah, you sure did.
Everywhere, brother. But I'm going to tell you what, Lawler is crying he went home. He went home and he cried to his old lady, oh, I lost my belt. Hell, it's not going to get it back for him because right now, what we're witnessing right now is the downslide of Jerry Lawler, the downslide. Because he may never, ever come back again because, see, he took me too lightly. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
He
you're
took me
standing
too
out here
lightly.
talking about it like it was just all that. Hey, don't forget the referee counted
Wait
him
a
when he's
minute.
put
Wait
on the
just a
rope.
minute. Wait. Ricky Morton was appointed by
Shelley,
your
thanks for
man,
that share. Appreciate
Randy
that.
Hale.
My man.
Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah.
was. He was appointed, and I went in the ring, and despite Ricky Morton, and despite all kinds of
fuck yeah.
situations you tried to put it against me.
That's not a bad
right
one,
here,
dude.
Right here tells the whole tale right here.
Hey, well, don't get too good at
I could have done it this time when I had the big goatee, just left those right there hanging. Dude, I could have done that.
It's not going to
Shit.
change because Jerry Lawler lost fair and square right in the middle of that ring.
The joint committee is going to determine whether it was fair and square or not,
Well, I
and
don't
whether
care.
you got it.
I don't
Listen,
care.
Stan, I'm going to go right now. Jerry Lawler sent an interview. We've got it right here. Let's take a
I
look
love
at it.
Dutch, man.
You know, the question
I still love
I've been
Dutch.
getting asked all week long is why? Why do you think Ricky
His shirt.
Morton, who was without a doubt been one of the most popular wrestlers in the entire country, one of the fan favorites over the entire nation, why do you think a guy like Ricky Morton would make this kind of a decision?
I'm a big
Would
Ricky
do
Morton fan, though.
something
I really
so
like old
obvious,
Ricky.
right in front of the fans, so blatantly against the rules. You know, it can't be more cut and dried. I confronted him afterwards in the dressing room, and he had the audacity to try to tell me right to my face that he was knocked senseless, that he didn't see my foot on the rope. Well, the film showed that not only did he see my foot on the rope, that he knocked my foot off the rope twice, and then the third time when he made the complete 3 count, just left the foot on the rope. Didn't even bother to knock it off until after he had counted to 3. And then he's going to try to tell me that he didn't see it there? Well, I think
dude,
the
I like
decision
Kerry,
that I've
man.
come to
Yeah,
is the
Kerry's
fact that
good.
Ricky Morton knew exactly what he was doing.
Kerry's
He knew
got
what
his
he was
blood,
doing
you
from
can
the time
tell.
he
You know when a
stepped
second
into that ring
generation
to
or
before
third
he stepped
generation
into that
person
ring,
just
because
has it.
obviously he and Dutch Mantel
Yeah,
had
Kerry's
gotten together.
come up right.
And Ricky Morton, yes.
I live in the South, so Ricky Morton. I've been to so many shows with Ricky Morton on it. I remember early 2000s, in the later 2000s, before Kerry, came of age and became a legit wrestler, always hanging out and riding with Ricky Morton to these shows. So I can only imagine the knowledge that he's gained from these vets.
Sure, he was
Yeah,
fine
he's
referee
cool.
throughout the body
I think
of
he's
the
probably
match.
going to do big
But what
big
he was
stuff
trying
in
to do was
the
lull me, I
business.
realized later, lull me into a false
I
sense
would
of
imagine.
security, setting me up for the kill. And that's
gonna be
just
cool to follow his
exactly what he
career.
did. Well, let me tell you something, Ricky Morton. You know, I may not be able to do anything about reversing the decision, but the film is with the championship committee, and surely they're not going to let something as obvious and as blatant as that get by. But in the meantime, there is something I can do, brother, and that's straighten this out man to man. You and I, Dutch Mantel, Ricky Morton. Well, I got Wendell Cooley, Wildcat Wendell Cooley. He's volunteered to be my partner. I couldn't ask for a better man. Dutch Mantel, you came out here on television a couple of weeks ago and slapped Wendell Cooley right in the mouth. Well, believe me, brother, he is itching to get his hands on you.
That's a dear
And I
brother.
still got a little unfinished business with you too, Dutch man. But right now, my main concern is you, Ricky Morton, one half of the Rock and Roll Express. Yeah, the big hot tag team of the century. Well, let me tell you something, Ricky Morton. When I get through with you, brother, like I said, I may not be able to reverse that decision.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
But that championship belt is worth an awful lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And believe me, when I get you in that ring, brother, I'm going to take that amount of money out of your hide. Because you're not going to get away with doing what you think you've gotten away with to me. When I get you in the ring, Ricky Morton, I'm going to make you regret.
I've seen
Believe
just a
me,
little bit of
regret
this
the
Ricky and
decision
Jerry
that you
Lawler
made
stuff.
to get entwined with Dutch
So
Mantel.
I'm really excited to
And
get
that's not a
the
threat. That's a
weekly
promise.
TV
You be
of
there,
it.
and I'm going to fulfill it.
Well, the decision is not firm. It's true. Lawler can't make it, and you can't make it. The joint committee will make it. So don't get too
Talk is easy and talk is cheap. And he come back in the dressing room and took another kicking right there in the dressing room. He had no business back there. He was crying. He's a sore loser. He's washed up. And he came back there, and he got exactly what he deserved coming to another man's dressing room. Now, let me tell you one thing. He's talking about Wendell Cooley.
That's right.
Let me say one thing about Wendell Cooley. Wendell Cooley is a bogus CWA champion. He's a bogus wrestler. He's a bogus musician. He's a bogus person. He don't even need to walk the face of the earth. And let me tell you another thing about him. I slapped him last week. Sure, he needed
Jerry Lawler, Micah, welcome in here.
I'm not afraid of him, and I would like to slap. Hey, when I slapped him, I had a special affection for slapping people, and I'd like to slap him again if he showed his face. Because I'll slap him here, I'll slap him there, I'll slap him anywhere I want to slap him because he don't strike no fear in me, and what might happen.
Fine, well, just go ahead and slap him all you want to slap. You want to do a little slapping right now, Dutch?
I didn't invite him out here. Hey, this is my interview.
What are you doing out here with a world title?
Because I am the world's champion.
Are you proud the way you won the title? If anybody should be wearing that, Ricky Morton should be wearing that. He is the one that won that title, not you.
No, I won it.
I've been the special referee, pal. You'd have never walked out of there with that because I'd have called it like it was. I don't know what you did with Morton. I guess you had a lot of money and bought him off.
A little Sunday Night Wrestling, guys. Thanks for coming in here.
No collusion here whatsoever. That's you've been talking a lot of what you've been doing. Exactly what you've been doing.
Yeah, I hear you out here. What, are you calling me a coward? You
I didn't call him a coward. I did not call him a coward.
You called him bogus.
I didn't call him bogus.
You did.
I didn't.
Something, pal.
Come on now. Let's not do it here.
Come on, you want to do some slapping? Let's do some slapping right here, pal.
No, I didn't call him.
Don't make me come across the desk after you.
Classic powder of the eyes.
Oh, Dutch, great.
Love a nice little brawl here in the studio. No, he's got the whip. He's gonna whip him.
Hey,
choke him. Drag him. Got the cowboy boots on.
Whip right around Cooley's neck, taking him over there.
He's got the world title. Last week, Dylan, at the very beginning of episode 1, Lawler held, I believe I'm correct here, the WCCW world title and the AWA title. And essentially, this is right at the end of, this is the year that the CWA merges with WCCW and becomes USWA, is in 1989. Right in this time, really going into 90. But they merged those titles to become the real world champion, is what Jerry Lawler basically has now, is the world title, is what they're calling it. And the CWA champion is Cooley here.
That's it around the ring post and now pounding on him. Okay, Dutch.
So like kind of the...
You not only won't have the title, you won't have any place around here either.
There's Jarrett coming out, Tracy Smothers, Dundee.
That's great. You come out here and have to do something like that. Boy, I'll tell you,
hey, Cat Crow, welcome in here.
You, but I mean to tell you, I don't know what in the world's happened to you, but you come out and do that kind of thing. Threw it right on.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be cool. Right here, I'm excited. And I know that, but also I don't, I've never really experienced it. So I'm really excited about. I've just seen really clips of random parts of all types of years of USWA or CWA or Memphis before, just that area in general. But it's going to be cool to really watch it weekly. A lot of legends in here. A lot of people that I really dig.
Be back with a lot more action to go.
I like Lance Russell, though. Again, this is right before Lance Russell went in for a little stint in WCW on national television. Lisa, there we go. Still hanging out, baby. The Twitch machine. Keeping the Twitch. I like Lisa, first of all, I'm glad that you're on there just to hang out, to keep Twitch alive. Twitch doesn't do as much pushing as YouTube does, it seems. I don't know what it takes to get into their metrics. I'm very small in there, only have 29 followers, but at the same time, which YouTube I've been putting a lot of work into, so I guess it makes sense.
Great stars of
Lisa,
the
thanks
CWA.
for hanging
now,
out.
Wednesday night,
and for putting in some side work.
At the Coliseum, Phil Hickerson, P.Y. Chu High against Scott Steiner in the opener. Tracy Smothers and Brian Lee against Samurai and
young-ass Brian Lee.
We're going to be taking
here in
a look
89.
at the Beauty and the Beast going against Bill Dundee. And who is his mystery partner but the exotic Adrian Street? What a cat fight that's going to be with Garvin and Street. Jeff Jarrett and Sid Vicious. Wow, what a team going against Fuller and Golden. And the final
Sid
match
Vicious.
is going to be Wildcat Wendell
Scott
Cooley,
Steiner was
Jerry
on
the
episode
King
1.
Lawler, going against Dutch Mantel and Ricky Morton. All of that lined up for your action Wednesday.
They fall, and here they are right now to drop it on us. The CWA Tag Champions, Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden, along with Frankie the Thumper Lancaster.
That's right, Lance. As you know very well, Jim and I, we're so proud of these
Stud
beloved
Stable
belts.
here is the
These
tag
belts
champs.
are the prettiest belts, the tag team, and all of the United
Robert
States.
Fuller and Jimmy
We're
Golden.
supposed to see Jimmy
Colonel
Golden,
Rob
Frankie,
Parker
and
and
Sid
Bunkhouse
Vicious in the
Bunk.
ring in a
Oh,
moment.
no, oh,
So
no.
if we can get this
Who I
going.
fucking
Yeah,
love.
we're going to get it going real good for you, but you might as well listen. You're not going to see Sid Vicious out here because I came through the room just a minute ago and I saw Sid sitting in there all suck, and I guess it's because he's been bringing himself down pretty bad because he's on a losing streak, and a losing streak is something that the Stud Stable's not going to be putting up with. So I said, Sid, just put your boots back on, son, and the man's going to go out and take your place, baby, and that's exactly what I plan to do. You'll be seeing my man Frank here, who is soon to be the new CWA champion, that this man right here is honed down. This man is ready, and this man is capable. Am I right, Jimmy?
I'm telling you, I like his style, man. The man gets the job done when he steps in there. He's not a loser. Like Robert said, brother, the Stud Stable does not tolerate losers.
That's right, Poke.
He's like a dog. He's got to get out, man. We have nothing but
He'd
winners
rock
in
the hell
this
out of this.
organization.
Yeah.
Frankie's one of them. We like you, baby.
Well, he's got some big shoes to fill in there if he thinks he's
Well,
going to be
don't
able
you
to.
worry about it, Mr. Microphone, okay? Because I'll fill the shoes.
Right. Let me tell you something about Frankie here. He likes it, baby, tough, and he likes it rough. And every place that he goes, he gets down for titles, Daddy. And he's
Not shortly after. I think really Colonel Rob Parker, I think, went to WCW in 93, if I'm not mistaken. Later 93, and I think Bunkhouse came in shortly after, maybe early 94, maybe late 93. But they were in Smoky Mountain Wrestling as a tag team and tag champs there for a while under Cornette, even
he
after
wins
this.
them right down the line.
It wasn't too long,
For
though.
sure, he's not going to be letting down the Tennessee Stud or nobody that's a part of this stable right here. That Frankie's going to do his job.
Oh,
and he's
shit.
going to do it upright, Daddy.
I'm gonna wear some
And
of
he's
them
not
tights
gonna be
on
lay
stream,
down
Pammy.
for no living human
That'd be a
being.
fun Frill
So you
Friday.
sent, oh, no, there he is right there.
I'll tell you something, Robert.
Sid!
I'll
Big
listen
Sid!
to all this crap out of your mouth. I'm going to listen to. And I don't think the people want to listen to it anymore either. No, you don't tell me to wait a minute. Shut up and get away. Now, if you want some of me, Mr. Lancaster, get your ass to that ring, boy.
Let me tell you something, big boy. The only difference between you and me is about 6 inches and 40 pounds. You got $1 million body, but a 2-cent brain. And if you want to see the man with CWA titles, I can do it.
Oh, shit! He slapped the piss out of Sid! He slapped the piss out of Sid!
Lancaster slapped him right upside
Sid's
the
going,
face. And here
oh,
we
man.
are with,
Oh, man!
That big man right there is up for a whipping, Daddy.
You gonna take out Sid? I don't think
Keep
so.
your butt in the dressing room. It's supposed to be a 6-man tag with myself and Jimmy Lancaster. He should have stayed in that dressing room where he was supposed to. Watch it.
Well, he was originally scheduled to be in the match. There's no question about that. Lancaster being slammed around the ring post and the turnbuckles. And the
Yo,
big
what's
guy, Sid Vicious, Lancaster slapped him right in the face, man. I'll
That's
believe
awesome,
that
Shirley.
a second time for, look at him. Look at
Yeah, I
him.
like old school wrestling though.
Up in here.
Big press slam,
Fuller
overhead.
screaming that he was choking.
Big leg drop, dude. Yeah, Frankie can fuck off, says Sid.
Sid Vicious showing Lancaster. Oh, there's Jimmy Golden up there on the ring apron telling the referee he was choking him and all of that. Sid comes over and rips Robert Fuller's buddy, Jimmy Golden, right upside the head. And now Fuller's storming around the ring as Sid Vicious drops with another leg on Lancaster. And as Sid started back in, while the referee was getting Golden away from the ring, Fuller tripped him up, dumped him right down on the deck. And Sid Vicious on the deck now with Frankie Lancaster.
Fuller went for the weak spot. He went for that knee.
want to see why I said what I said about Frankie being the toughest man. Right here is clear proof of it. You see now
Okay.
the new to-be CWA champion right there.
Let him go here.
I don't wait. When I say it, I mean it, baby, and it always
Yeah, this is a young Sid too, right before WCW as well. By the end of this year, he is in WCW on national television. Of course, as they say, the rest is history. Incredible career. Misfit Wrestling Podcast, welcome in here, and yes, rest in peace, Sabu. I said that earlier. The man, huge, love Sabu. Sabu, one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. It sucks, man. Yeah, he just had a match 2-3 weeks ago for GCW in a barbed wire match. He was just on a podcast last week that I saw. 60 years old. Rest in peace, brother. He got an amazing life and career.
For the big drop kick, missed it flat in the middle of the ring, and look at Vicious with that power slam. And a cover, 1, 2, and into the ring goes Jimmy Golden, Dave.
He called, the referee said he got a 3 count on him. So that's going to give Vicious a victory here over Lancaster officially, but now...
Clothesline, there you go.
You notice how Fuller's hanging back? Well, there he goes. Now he comes climbing into the ring.
While he was choking on Jimmy Golden, look at Fuller jumps up on the back, and Vicious just dumps him off. Boy, that we've always said that is a lot of man. Look at that. He's got going for that Shinnaminaki on the Japanese sleeper hold.
Says Lance Russell.
Jimmy Golden from behind, and Lancaster.
3's just too much for Sid. He needs some help out here.
Kicking way on Sid Vicious.
Uh-oh, fuck. Fuller's loading the boot up. Look at him in the corner.
Comes over and kicks Vicious.
Kicking him with a loaded boot, folks.
Oh, here comes Chris Frazier in. And he's met by Lancaster. He dumps him out on the floor.
Fritz Frazier
being held by the Tennessee Stud.
Shit.
Well, Jimmy Golden came in on top of him. Here comes Jeff
And
Jarrett.
Jarrett's just, this episode is brought to you by Jarrett making the save.
Fuller and Golden. Lancaster out here on the floor with Chris Frazier, and Jeff Jarrett gets the job done in there as he got Fuller and Golden off Sid Vicious. Okay, and Jeff and Sid shaking hands with each other up there. So Jeff came in at the right moment, and he really helped him out.
Boy, he did. The Stud Stable decided it was time to get out of here at that point. They're helping Chris Frazier out right now. But the win in the match, which was scheduled immediately there, Sid Vicious defeats Frankie Lancaster.
Oh, yeah, he does. I want to apologize.
Yeah, it does seem like a very small studio.
In there.
But this is the same studio I'm pretty sure that they used for decades for Memphis Wrestling, no matter what the initials
we'll
were.
be coming back to it in just a few minutes.
Thanks everyone for hanging out. Appreciate it.
Match coming up here in just a moment.
Hit the old like ski on the video if you haven't
See if I
yet.
can get Billy out
Always
here.
helps us out, the
Well, he didn't have
algorithm.
his partner with him.
At least that's what they tell me.
We were interested in finding out who this mystery partner is. Billy?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bring him out here in a minute. But before I get into that, I'd just like to tell Dutch Mantel and Ricky Morton something. The last 2 guys that came through here thought they did something to the king was Austin Idol and Tommy Rich, and you know what happened to them. Now, I'm going to tell you something, brother. I have tried it. I have tried to do everything. But when I did it, Mantel, I did it by myself. So you're going to walk around and say, you beat Jerry Lawler for the world title? No, brother, you didn't beat Jerry Lawler for nothing. Ricky Morton beat him. He counted him down. 1, 2, 3. And I bet you, if you're going to bet, you better bet on the king and Wendell Cooley, because that boy has your number, Mantel, and you didn't do nothing. And I just wanted that.
Never been a big fan of Dundee. I like him better as a manager for Regal.
Well, that's it.
WCW there for a brief period in like the mid-90s.
Hey, he hasn't got a
I'm not a big fan of him, really, in Memphis. He's just, I don't know, kind of got the Lawler effect, which I dig Lawler. At the same time, I'm not the biggest Lawler fan.
And a
They just overbear the programming, but Lawler's better than Dundee.
That's the only reason that he's saying it's a mystery partner. Jerry Lawler won't do it. Nobody will. Nobody can have. Hey, now from now on, it's Beastie Power and the beautiful one.
You just keep talking, Garvin. You just keep talking. I have a mystery partner, brother. I got
where? Adrian Street coming out now. We heard it earlier.
There's the mystery partner. Adrian Street.
Adrian Street.
The fabulous Adrian Street.
What can I tell you, brother? What's that old saying, if you're going to fight fire with fire? I don't know how you think, Garvin, and I don't really care. But my friend here does, brother. My friend here does. Now, I called him. You're right. I did. Exotic Adrian Street. Now, him and I not always go like we may go to the town together in the same car. He's got his lifestyle. I got mine, and he knows how you think, Garvin.
Yep, well, we've got...
He had to throw that in weirdly at the end. It didn't even really make sense.
Message coming up here about the...
I'd just like to say that as far as that Garvin's choice of music when he did that beauty parlor thing was exquisite, but really, if he wants to imitate me, it's rather like a garden gnome trying to imitate the Venus de Milo, or even more aptly, like an ugly little duckling trying to imitate a beautiful swan. If you want to know how to do it, have a look at this video.
Yep, this is it, the exotic...
All right, I am gonna just kind of fast forward through this because of the music. I'm pretty sure that'll get me in trouble. But we can see the vibe. They're showing Adrian Street here. See what you're getting with him. Super flamboyant wrestler, ahead of his time for sure, and he's actually technically extremely skilled in the ring. Wait, that might have been an original song. It does actually seem like he's singing it. That's probably still copyrighted by somebody, dude. People love to nick that stuff.
Now answer the difference. That's right. Now the difference between him and you, Garvin, is when he gets in here, he can wrestle, and we fixing to show you how good. So pay attention, boy.
I'm not the biggest Adrian Street fan, but I like him better than Dundee.
I'll crack your ribs.
And I can respect the influence that he had on wrestling and being like a first, like just killing stuff in the territories, in southern territories with this gimmick, man, and getting over. Awesome stuff. And he's good in the ring.
Street as Bill Dundee's mystery partner.
As far as I know, still alive and still looks in shape as well.
From the Royal Forest of Dean, it's the exotic Adrian Street coming in right now.
Exotic Adrian Street.
And I'll tell you one thing that Billy said.
Incredible career, though. What are we going against? Elder and Yates.
That was
a little job match here
when he gets
for
in
these
the ring.
vets.
We'll see him in action right now.
That's true, against Alan Yates and David Elder. Here we go. Bill Dundee starting out. I think Bill was complaining about hair pulling or something like that. Not sure. Anyway, the referee got everything straightened out. Nice drop kick by Dundee. No tag made across the ring, just a kind of an exchange of partners there as Yates and Elder are, I'd say, on paper, certainly outmanned as they go into this match. Here he is, the exotic Adrian Street, and he's skipping around the ring there, but don't be misled. He can wrestle. Adrian with a couple of flips around the ring and enough to leave his opponent frustrated. Look at Street. Just jumped right over the throat. Lifted that forearm. Bill Dundee shouting.
Streaming live on Twitch also while it's
from the side of the ring.
Trying to see if I can build anything up on the Twitch side of things.
Down there have been
it's
totally
definitely
dominated,
moving
I would
slow.
say. Just hadn't been able to get anything going.
Compared to YouTube.
There's a
skipping to the corner.
Gentle little tag.
Okay, David Elder climbing through the ropes, and Yates out, Dundee tying it up with Elder as he wraps the arm around, and I just got to say it's a situation we've seen a lot of times. A couple of young fellas are getting underway and just not in the same category at all as two veterans like Dundee and the exotic Adrian Street.
This is one of those where Yates and Elder for a week, they'll be told, but look at the experience you got. But
yeah,
they're going to be hurting while they're being told that.
Look at that move by Street.
He got it.
Oh, shit. That was not a great match. That was not a very good match. But
Street and Bill Dundee have themselves a victory.
it's all right, I guess.
Against Yates and Elder.
Again, I'm just not the biggest
it's
fan
kind
of
an interesting
Dundee.
pairing in there because Dundee came up out of the tough Australian amateur school.
But I'm sure we're going to be getting a lot of Dundee.
Street out of what is referred to as
This year.
the English school of wrestling. And both of them, you really learn the fundamentals when you come out of those, and they showed it. They can do it right in there. No contest.
2:18 the time.
Okay, timeout. We'll be back in just a moment.
Jeff, the folks have already seen an unusual situation with you and Sid Vicious. Now, we'll talk about
Young-ass
that in a
Jeff
minute.
Jarrett.
Before
Again, I
we
think he's
say
like 3
anything
years into
about the
business
bout coming
here.
up, let's look at a tape from Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden about this match. Here it is.
You know, Jimmy, in every organization, great organization that is, like the Stud Stable organization, there has to be one man that runs things. There has to be one person that calls the shots and tells you when to go and when to stay there. Now, let me tell you something, Sid Vicious. If that person was not me, it would be my cousin, Jimmy Golden. And before it would be you, son, it would be this beautiful lady right here, because she's got more sense in her head than you got in that great big bowling ball of yours, son. I'm gonna tell
Big
you
old
something,
bowling
son.
ball head,
You wanna
boy.
get down now and fight with the big boys, that's what you're going to get your opportunity to do.
I feel like Colonel Rob Parker's an all-time manager, though. He's a great wrestler, too. I really dig his style. But even if you're not into that, into his wrestling style, dude, his promos were fun.
That Jarrett kid is the partner because you knew from the outset of this organization that nobody.
Oh, interesting. That's cool, son. Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten a membership on Twitch.
And I'm going to see him gone, and I'm going to see him along with my cousin. You gone, too.
Well, there it is, Fuller and Golden, Jeff, and you know they're going to be talking.
Yeah, Lance, that's about all they can do. Another thing they like to do is turn their back on somebody. And this time, guys, Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden, you turn your back on a man that's about 6'8" and weighs about 310 pounds. And I think you've bitten off just a little more you can chew. You're
God,
gonna
the
learn
next
that you don't
decade
push
with Sid in general in wrestling is super
Well, this
interesting.
Wednesday night, guys, you're going to find out just how bad and big and mean and tough he is. Boys, you better shape up or you're going to have to ship out, because I'm coming down there with Sid Vicious with everything I got. And, boys, you're going to get the beating of your life.
Jeff, you've been in there with Robert
And we ain't done yet,
Jimmy
Jeff.
with a
Get
couple
back
of
here. I
partners
got
in
another
there, but you've
question,
never
says
had one
Lance
this
Russell.
big.
He's big and bad and mean, and I can't wait for Wednesday night.
Wednesday night is all going to happen.
Got more time to kill here, son.
Well, walking in front of your vision right there. Here's
That's a great day. You know what it is? The me and the number one here, we have formed a
I've been chugging beers.
here. We are the
We got a little bit left this episode. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a piss. Be right back, guys. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out.
The United States in everything, man. The mannerism, the courteism. They make better cars, better Toyotas. Everybody's driving Toyotas. Everybody's driving Nissan. Everybody's watching Sony televisions. You know, they're always walking around these Walkmans. Everything is from Japan. And you're looking at everything right now. You're looking from the finest from Japan. So we have formed a corporation. We're going to go out and just do like all the big corporations in Japan are doing. We're going to be buying up everything. I mean, we're going to be buying everything we can because we're going to be looking out for these guys right here. So what more can I say, Lance Russell?
Hey,
look here, check out
tell
that
the guy to
sword.
put that thing up, Tojo.
I wasn't telling him nothing. Huh?
Hey,
Yeah.
well, just tell him to take it out of here. We don't need that thing in here. I'll tell you, these guys.
We don't have a head thing. Maybe we can use his head. Let us use your head for a demonstration.
Yeah, will you just take it on out of here? All right, now that's all. We don't need any more conversation with you guys.
Oh, man. Yeah. Hear the change in music when Tracy Smothers, Jeff Jarrett, and Scott Steiner made their appearance. We've got a six-man tag team match here. Samurai Shogun and P.Y. Chuhai with Tojo Yamamoto in their corner. We're going against Tracy Smothers, Jeff Jarrett, and Scott Steiner. Referee Jerry Calhoun waiting for everyone to get the warm-up jackets off. Got it all sorted out to one for each team in the ring, and we will be underway here. This one should be a mighty, mighty good one. with well-balanced teams on each side of the ring. Looks like Hickerson, I beg your pardon, P.Y. Chuhai is going to be starting. Well, maybe not. Nope. Chuhai steps out of there. Also, I believe that Shogun steps out of there. Jeff Jarrett starts for his team.
Jeff Jarrett match.
Tojo Yamamoto stalking around ringside. You always got to keep
we got here
as the Japanese make a tag. Oh, and it goes by again, just treading lightly, and the two of them run together as Jeff Jarrett got out of the way. Jeff used his head on that one, got out of the way, and let the two Japanese wrestlers run together, Samurai and Shogun. They make a tag on their American partner who's made a trip to Japan and adopted the name P.Y. Chuhai. And Scott Steiner blocked that right arm as Phil Hickerson was going to nail Jarrett with it. P.Y. Chuhai. Byron Steiner into the ropes, and he caught him with a fist. He's got that right hand wrapped up with some kind of tape, all but the tips of the fingers. He just jabbed Steiner in the throat with it.
Yeah, Penny, that's Tojo Yamamoto. Likes to beat the hell out of people with a kendo stick.
Hammered Scott Steiner down to the mat. Jeff Jarrett, Tracy Smothers trying to cheer Scott Steiner.
Oh, that's got Steiner in there too. Fuck yeah.
Started the match. Tracy hasn't been in there.
Steiner by the end of this year would be in NWA WCW with his brother Rick on national television. So 89 Memphis is interesting here, just for the people we're getting.
Expiration of time match.
Is that Hashimoto on the apron?
P.Y. Chuhai grabbed Scott Steiner, raked his hand across his face. I think he may have gotten him in the eyes, too. He was over taunting Jeff Jarrett, who jumped in there. Tracy Smothers came in to try to help out. Referee sends both of them back. Meanwhile, it's double team time, as you can see right there. With the Japanese and Hickerson over here in the corner. There's Tojo. You see him kind of sneaking.
Hey, John. How you doing, buddy? Glad you're coming in here, man. Trying to do the entire year of CWA Memphis 89. So every Sunday night at 8, I'm doing it 2 episodes. Yeah, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. How you doing?
You see the choke being put on Scott Steiner over here as he continues to be double teamed. Referee trying to back P.Y. Chuhai away from him.
This has been super fun watching. This is only my second week, so.
Steiner ran into a brick wall there. Hickerson knocked him right down to the mat. Oh, from behind, the tag made. And look out. The Shogun Samurai team goes into action. 3.5 minutes gone in this fall. Oh, look at that back kick. Samurai and Shogun demonstrating their ability. They're a rugged team, boy. We were impressed with them the first time we saw them. And you put Hickerson, better known now as P.Y. Chuhai, in the corner with him.
P.Y. Chuhai.
Added problems when you step in the ring against him.
There you go.
Got the forearm and nailed P.Y.
Tracy in there, brother.
Down to the mat hard. Tracy Smothers reaching for the
Jarrett in.
This is Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett gets the tag. He goes after Hickerson. Now
Jarrett, House of Fire, baby face. Lighting them up. Everybody's inside now.
Commercial commitments. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll take a break while this is
a break.
On.
A break now, Lance.
We'll be taping and we'll keep it in action here. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back in just a moment.
got caught.
Yeah, we missed
the
the
long time. Sorry about that.
The
What
fuck?
happened was they threw Jeff Jarrett over the...
We gotta take a break. We'll be right back. Hello, it's the end of the episode. We missed the entire end of the match. We can't show it to you.
The top rope.
What?
That's a disqualification. So the team of Jeff Jarrett...
Hold
Scott
on.
Steiner,
What
Tracy-
happened?
We got caught.
Yeah, we missed the ending.
long time. Sorry about that, but what happened was they threw Jeff Jarrett over the top rope. That's a disqualification. So the team of Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, Tracy Smothers gets the victory in there as a result of that.
So they got the rule. I guess the NWA rule, right? Of you get thrown over the top rope at this time, you get disqualified. What the hell? Was that an AWA rule as well?
Sorry, the tape just didn't work.
And we don't have time to show it anyhow. We're out of time right now. Interesting to see the exotic Adrian Street back.
That's awesome, John, dude. I know you're a wrestling encyclopedia. I'm glad to have you here, brother.
Mystery partner in there.
Phil
As they
Hickerson.
pointed out from the Royal Forest.
Chuhai,
scene, I'm
okay,
sure
yeah.
That'll light a few fireworks around there. We got
Gotta
plenty
get
of
that
action
ad in
the coming
there.
weeks.
You gotta get that
We'll
ad
see
in
what
there.
Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying.
One episode in. We got one more to go here, folks. We're going to go into January 28th, 1989.
By parties other than this station, namely the promoters of Championship Wrestling.
We'll roll right into it. And thanks everyone for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Again, every Sunday night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be right here on YouTube and Twitch watching Memphis from 1989. And after this, we'll be completely through January. Wrong button. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay, hold on. So let me explain just a little bit here, Shelley. So at this time, there was a rule in some places: if a wrestler throws another wrestler over the top rope on purpose, like if it happens by mistake, with their own momentum, it didn't count. But say I threw you over the top rope, that person would get disqualified. The person that did the throwing. So the Japanese team lost by disqualification, so Jeff Jarrett's team won. And we didn't get to see it, which makes it even more confusing, because then you have to explain it. And it is slightly confusing if you don't know that rule. Again, rest in peace, Sabu. That classic song, Lisa. I think that green backdrop makes it look so much more like 70s, early 80s.
Spectacular show.
Vibe
Boy,
of
we got
old.
some wrestling today, Dave.
Boy, we do indeed. Got tons of it. We got Jeff Jarrett coming in here in the opening match. Later on, you'll see Adrian Street and the superstar Bill Dundee. Tracy Smothers will be here. Dutch Mantel and Rick Morton will be on the card here today. The Japanese team, Shogun, Samurai, Jimmy Golden, Frankie the Thumper Lancaster, Wendell, Cooley, and Jerry.
It's like an
the
action-packed
King Lawler.
morning here.
Boy, I'm going to tell you, I love
Night for us.
in a time match
I think
that
this
we've
came
got
on in
down
the
there.
morning,
That
though.
ought to be
What time did you get this,
gun to
John?
see in there with Wendell and Jerry going against the Beauty and the Beast, right?
That should be a good one.
Oh, boy, we got it all.
Oh, here we go.
So I'll tell
John,
you
the
what we're
over-the-top rule was standard everywhere territory-wise. Thanks for that.
do is get ready to go with the opening match here. We're going to ring the bell. I'm sorry, I had to be there for a minute. And we're going to start it out with
What we got here?
right here.
Oh, we got Jarrett starting us out here.
Light heavyweight champion.
I'm going to actually jump past the music a little.
Parts unknown. He outweighs
Only thing that freaks me out is the music and AWA footage.
the shadow weighs
Those
in
will,
about
I think, will get the
229
episode
pounds.
pulled.
Jeff
But other than
weighs
that,
in
it seemed to be
207.
pretty good.
Out of Henderson.
A couple of new folks on Twitch over here. Welcome in. Thank you very much. Hopefully you hang out. Follow on Twitch as well. And we're on YouTube.
Set to do battle with him in a one-fall
Dual
10-minute
streaming
time limit
here.
match. Jerry Calhoun, the referee. There's the signal from
Make it a
Jarrett.
thing
We're
on a
underway.
Sunday night.
Bell time is sounded, and the shadow of brand new wrestler we haven't seen before backed into the corner by
Yeah, who is
Jeff
this?
Jarrett.
What was his name? I
He
missed
holds
it.
it up. The referee calls for a clean break and gets same.
That's how I really knew
Boy,
it, Lisa,
Jeff really looks
NWA,
in
because
great shape, doesn't he? This
that's
guy
all I really
works as
watched at the
hard to
time.
stay in condition
That
as
over-the-top
anybody
rule,
I
because
know.
WWF
He
didn't
does.
do that.
Staying in shape like that keeps
And it took NWA, WCW forever to get rid of it. Until 94, 93, 94.
Hey, I'll tell you something that has been interesting. We saw him from the very beginning, back when he was a referee, as a matter of fact. And to see the weight and the bulk that he started to pull on now. He's up to, what, 207, 208 now.
Right, about 208.
Goes down, takes him down, goes behind, has him waist locked, and looks like he's getting ready to turn him on an amateur move. Comes up into an arm bar, tight at the shoulder. Jeff Jarrett, the Shadow, in our opening bout of
11 a.m. Saturday. For 90 minutes in Memphis, John says. That's what time we got Smoky Mountain when I was a kid. More mid-90s. 11 a.m. on the local station.
Shadow back up on his feet. Jeff continues to work on the left arm.
Hang it on, turns it over one more time, and now an attempted reversal, but Jeff right back on top of it. Backs the Shadow into the rope. Whip in, and a big elbow in the upper arm actually takes him down 1-2, but that's all he got out of it.
You got to stay alert in a wrestling match. The Shadow, when he tried that reversal on Jeff, immediately Jeff reversed it back.
Right, Lisa.
Kind of relax a little bit. You're not paying attention to what your opponent is doing. You can get yourself in trouble real quick. Jeff didn't let that happen.
Up top with a top wrist lock, and Jeff Jarrett giving away a little height to the Shadow in there.
The Shadow.
It's a difficult hole to work with. The Shadow takes it around behind into a hammerlock. Jeff moves underneath, comes in, takes him down.
Oh, yeah, Wildside jumped over to Twitch, too. Hell, fuck yeah.
He got it.
It was 2 minutes, 7 seconds, and Jeff Jarrett comes through with a nice victory over the Shadow.
Good-looking move and a great win for Jarrett, and we've got more of it today. Timeout. Be back in a moment. Okay, to the ring right now, and the new Hollywood Blondes with their director, Hollywood Hall, is in there with them. It's the first time we will get our first look at it.
Street into the area.
Drop through the music just a little bit. Even though I think the Adrian Street song might be okay. Because it's his song, right? It sounds like he's singing it. So we got another Dundee and Street match.
10-minute time limit. Introducing.
I wasn't a big fan of that first one. What do you think of Dundee, John?
Hollywood Hall. Total weight 483
I really liked old Dundee.
Hollywood Blondes. And
I like them better as a manager for Regal and WCW.
55 pounds from the Royal Forest of Dean, the exotic Adrian Street. His partner out of Australia, the superstar, Bill.
So I appreciate you really helping me out here.
10-minute time limit. Referee Jerry Calhoun.
Trying to grow this thing up a little bit.
Okay, everybody's unclosed to speak.
Got to keep a consistent view in here on Sundays.
It'll be the superstar starting against the shorter of
I
the
could
two
do it. Sunday
Hollywood
night's a good
Blondes.
job.
I guess we designate him as number one since he started out.
I suppose so, yeah.
I gotta love watching wrestling.
Number one against the superstar. This ought to be a good match. The Hollywood Blonde, the new Hollywood Blondes. Boy, if they're anything like the old Hollywood Blondes, stand by.
Well, the first thing they aren't quite as big as the old Hollywood Blondes.
This is true.
But that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. Oh, Adrian Street. He planted one right on
It's
the
European
Hollywood
uppercuts.
Blonde number one. Takes him around behind. Look at that move. Hooks him back again, and he's got him dizzy from going around on him. Couldn't see it exactly, but he used his foot some way.
Yeah, I think he did. He left him for Bill Dundee, who comes in now after the tag. Bill, round behind, knee to the back, pulls back on the chin. And Hollywood Blonde number one is in serious trouble here, it looks like.
Now, Dundee just throws him into the corner and says, tag that guy.
Tag him, he said, yeah.
Want some of him. Get a look at both of the Blondes. Dundee.
Oh, look at this takedown by
Went
Dundee.
behind on the
By the end of this, I just become a big Dundee
took
fan.
him over and down, and Dundee tags out to the exotic.
I do know he's a legend, though.
Hollywood
And
Hall,
I know
where
people
directors
fucking
are
love
not
him,
too happy
especially
with the
in
performance
Lawler
so
territory.
The exotic one takes him down.
Just got caught up in the
stomps a little on
weekly,
inner
the weekly,
thigh, and now with a
weekly stories and his, you know.
step over toe.
Because I mean, he was basically a babyface, so it makes sense.
Put pressure on. And with a somersault, he rolled him right straight over to put that additional.
I guess he went heel
pressure
sometimes
on
because he
that
would
leg.
feud with Lawler, right?
Hollywood Blonde number 2 catapulted up into the ropes, Dave.
Oh, he sure did. And then immediately he goes to work jumping up and down on the side of his head. We're 2 minutes into the action here as Adrian Street's over to the corner and makes the tag on Bill Dundee. Dundee picked him up, body slammed him, and went right back to the corner to tag Street. Dundee fires Hollywood Blonde number 2 into the rope. Boy, vicious clothesline. He caught him about 3/4 of the way across the ring. Look at Street now.
He grapevines the leg,
bridging with it.
bridges on the back bridge and gets a 1, 2, 3 as the shoulders were firmly. Beauty and the Beast hit the ring. Downtown Bruno right behind him. And they're kicking away. And
Mama says it bees that way sometimes.
Need to see that and protect. Oh, look,
Says old
here
Bruno.
comes Miss Linda. I knew that she was coming in.
Yeah, Miss Linda. I believe she just passed away, if I'm not mistaken, within the last few months.
She can go too. She's got
At least the last little bit, sadly.
Moves in on him.
But the wife of Adrian Street, if I'm not mistaken.
Beauty and the Beast are grabbing Bruno and pulling him outside the ring. And reigning supreme, Dundee and the exotic Adrian Street with Miss Linda.
Absolutely. They got Bruno out of there just in time. The time of the match, 2 minutes, 26 seconds.
Boy, the last time they saw the Beauty and the Beast, they pulled some scissors out and snipped some of Dundee's hair, and that wasn't one thing that Dundee took
match, though.
to. What a great
They
one
made their
in
own
there.
gear and
We'll
shit.
tell you, for a fact, it was good to see Miss Linda in there with Downtown Bruno. Met his Waterloo, you might say, right there. Take time out, be back. We got more.
Big matches on the card. Evansville Coliseum Wednesday night main event return tag team match. Dirty Dutch Mantel and Rick Morton against Wendell, Cooley, and Jerry the King Lawler. A special penalty 6-man tag match. Here's how it works. If Adrian Street loses, Garvin gets his music rights. If Dundee loses, he gets his head shaved. If Downtown Bruno loses, he leaves town. If the Beast loses, the guys get 5 minutes in the ring with Garvin. If the Beauty loses, Dundee gets his suit back. If Linda loses, Garvin gets
This
5
guy's going
minutes
hell,
with her.
too.
The
The
Beauty, the
announcer
Beast,
with
and
his
Downtown Bruno
beard.
against superstar Bill Dundee, Adrian Street, and the lovely Linda.
Ha, you people come on down to Evansville because I guarantee you that we are going to take it to him. That Dundee's so old, he needs a new hairstyle, and I'm going to see to it that he gets it. He's trying to look like Elvis Presley. Well, Elvis is dead, and so's Dundee. Street, hey, I wrote that music, and I sang it. It's my music, so I'm going to win it. And that bimbo, Bruno's going to take care of her. You'll see.
CWA tag match on tap in Evansville. Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden with the lovely Sylvia. They'll take on Tracy Smothers and Jeff Jarrett. Here come the champions
You know
now.
something, Robert, you know this Jeff Jarrett has got Tracy Smothers. He's had about everybody that you can think of to try to take our belts, let alone beat us in the middle of the ring. You'll never see that day, boy. You ought to be ashamed of yourself by now. You've had all kind of chances, all kind of partners to come out and take these titles from us. I don't think you can get the job done, son. When we get in Evansville, we're going to take you and your new partner, Tracy Smothers, brother, and we're going to show them what it's all about.
You know, Jimmy, there's a lot of talk about our stable being a revolving door and that guys come in and go out. There's also talk that I'm hard to get along with. Let me tell you something, baby. If you think I'm hard to get along with when you're working for me, try working against me. And that's what those boys are doing come Wednesday night in Evansville. They're working against what is now the stable. And the top of the line of the stable.
Stud stable,
the
Daddy.
stud, it's going to be extra hard to get along with in Evansville.
Okay, we just will get them in here and get our next one going.
Lance rings the damn bell here, boys. I got a bell, too. Hold on. I got a bell I can ring. Welcome. Russell Plunge rings the damn bell over here. That's how we get a contest started.
Oh, I hear the music.
Oh, they're rocking and rolling. Chris Ruth, welcome in here. Again, anybody new just popping through, we're going through the entire year of Memphis, CWA 1989. We are on episode 4, the end of January. Welcome in here every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. heel run for Ricky Morton. Singles heel run for Ricky Morton. And currently a Jerry Lawler and Dutch Mantel feud in the midst.
10-minute time limit match. Across the way, Brian Lee
Good stuff.
out of Orlando, Florida. Scott Smith out of Nashville at a total weight of 251 pounds. And going against him at a total of 453 out of Oil Trough, Texas, Dutch Mantel. And from Nashville, Tennessee, Ricky Morton. This match one fall. 10-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun falls to the bell. And tell you what, hold on with this one. Brian Lee, we've seen him wrestle many, many times. And, of course, everyone's familiar with Dutch Mantel and Ricky Morton.
Well, Brian, while he didn't hold it the longest of anybody,
I think you're right.
At one time,
I think he started in world class, man. Yeah, he might be popping in here randomly this year.
He's got to have something going for him.
It's coming right into when CWA and WCCW become USWA. That's right in there. Yeah, you're right.
Finding it out right now. Hey, come on, Dutch, get back in a.
Got primetime Brian Lee right here.
Where you're supposed to be.
Boy, what an attitude.
Young ass primetime Brian Lee, who I like, man. Primetime was good.
I know that will keep you awake all night. Somebody says something like that about you. He couldn't care less.
Okay, well, it's that interesting. Huh. I don't really know a lot about Twitch. I don't know the rules.
Brian's a big kid. He's got all the physical.
But, yeah, let me know what you if it lets you after maybe.
Very tall, good athlete. Rick Morton coming in. Oh, yeah. And finally,
so yeah, we got heel Ricky Morton, Dutch Mantel. I just have to say heel Ricky Morton because it's so rare that he's a heel. Even though it's like really brief. Who remembers the really brief WWF run in '98 with Jim Cornette when they brought back the NWA at the very beginning of the Attitude Era there, early days? That was pretty interesting.
Coming down from Brian and
had the NWA tag titles on TV.
Boy, you know, Morton.
That's a really cool time frame of wrestling.
A lot of people, and I think we would be included among them. I don't know what in the world happened to Ricky's attitude. He came in here and he accepted the appointment as a referee in that match with Lawler and Mantel, and then ended up performing subpar, as they get. Hey, you listen, I'm telling you just exactly what happened, Dutch. Ricky popped Scott Smith, who took the tag in there. Scott nowhere near as large.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Chris. Yeah, and we've already seen we got Sid Vicious in here, who was in NWA, WCW by the end of '89. Scott Steiner's on these episodes. He was on this episode earlier, the last week 3, but on tonight we've shown him, and he was on episode 1. Again, he's with Rick by the end of '89. Who else? Maybe somebody else that I'm missing, but yeah, it's an interesting year, I feel like. It's going to be a good one.
Mantel, a foot in the midsection. Morton was involved in Mantel in that, well, I was going to make a flat-out statement of that attempt to steal the unified heavyweight title as Morton counted him out with Lawler's foot on the rope. And he had already pushed it off twice before that. So there wasn't any question of saying I didn't see it. Tag back to Morton.
Move to the midsection. Scott Smith having a rough day. Morton, well, he dropped down. He's got the... Oh, yeah. Mantel, it's the way the world's champion does it. Right.
Stay tuned, Dutch.
Yeah. Here comes Dutch Mantel back into the action. They have been able to get Scott Smith in there and keep him in there now. They're just hammering on him, trying to keep him away from the tag on Brian Lee. Brian, the more experienced.
Shit, John, nice.
Big snap suplex from the Dutchman. He drops down with an elbow. Boy, he's rougher than a cow.